Welcome to this week's Behind the Wheel Show, featuring Gene Capo of Victory Honda of Sandusky. And now, here's Gino.
Hi, folks. Gene Capo at BehindTheWheelRadio.com. We're back again this week, living large and loving life here at Channel 7 Buckeye Cable, the Guide Channel. We're rocking out the TV show and having fun every single day, 8 o'clock p.m., 7 days a week. So check us out. We're on the radio, too, 102.7 WCPZ every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. And then we're also on AM radio, 1450 WLEC, every Saturday and Sunday morning at 9 o'clock a.m. And then WPCR, PortClintonRadio.com, every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. or go to their website, click on the On-Demand tab, get us anytime you need us. And here we are again, Buckeye Cable, Channel 7. If you're just joining us, my name is Gene Capo. I own and operate Victory Honda of Sandusky, Ohio, right on the corner of Hayes Avenue and Perkins Avenue, right in Sandusky. We're rocking out the cars, guys, 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day. We got a dandy website, too, VictorySandusky.com. So check out the cars on there, all the new ones, all the used ones, 31 great pictures of each, inside, outside, none of these stock photos, just actual pictures of each car. Even the new cars got all the photos because sometimes you just can't tell the color by looking at a stock photo. They're all kind of blue when you look on your computer, but if you see an actual photo of the car out in the sunlight, it makes a big difference in how the car looks. So check out our website as well. Got a great service department. We have great everything, great salespeople too. They're knowledgeable. They know the products. They know how to demonstrate them for you so that you can make a good, knowledgeable car buying decision. A great service department to help you afterward. We've even got something coming up on May 24th at 6 p.m., guys. It's called a New Car Owner Clinic. Again, May 24th. It's a Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. What we do is we take everybody that bought a car from us and we invite them back to the dealership. And we get some food and some drinks, and we sit down, and we have a great time. We bring in our service manager, Mike Claymar, our parts manager, Ray McCreary, our two service advisors, the folks that write you up when you come in with your car, and they advise you on all the stuff that you need for your vehicle, Matt Heilman and Jason White, and then our customer service manager, Callie Haas. She's going to be there as well. She calls you up and makes sure that all the work was done right after that we do the work, so she makes sure you're real happy. Those folks are all going to be there at our New Car Owner Clinic. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all the maintenance that Honda recommends for your car and make sure you understand what it is, when it's supposed to be done, how we do it, and how long it takes, and then how much it costs, if anything at all. We reiterate your warranties and all of that stuff, and then we go through all the warning lights on your dash. It's wonderful. You ever have a light come on in your car and you just don't know what it means or what to do? Well, those days are over. If you come to our owner clinic, we've got great big blow-up pictures of each warning light, and we come around and display them for you and then explain to you exactly what they mean, exactly what is happening with your car, what to do if you see one of those lights, who to call, and exactly what we're going to do to correct the situation. So some of them are real insignificant. Some of them are really important. So you want to be able to differentiate between the lights to know exactly which ones are telling you what. So we go through all of that as well. Tons of handy information. We field questions from everybody. You get to meet, more importantly, all the folks that do the service work out back. So you have a good relationship with them, and if something happens or you need something, you know exactly who to call. So great stuff. New Owner Clinic, May 24th, 6 o'clock p.m., Thursday. We have one every single month, guys, so if you can't make this one, there's going to be one in June as well. We may even up it to twice a month if we get a good enough response. We had over 50 people at the last one. We televised it. You're going to see clips of it on the show. It's going to be great. We did a little sneak preview so you'd know exactly what was going on. And everybody's welcome. If you didn't buy a car from us, hey, you know what? It's okay with us. Come on by, get a bite to eat, get something to drink, and get some great information as well. So we've got some great questions for this week, too, you guys. Speaking of questions, 419-975-9205 with your questions. Call them in, and as usual, every single week, we hand out a $100 gas card to the person that goes in the drawing. Every time you send in a question, if we read it on the air, we put you in the drawing, we draw a name, we send them a $100 gas card. So gas is, again, still $3 million a gallon or so. So you still, a $100 gas card will still go a long, long way toward feeding that car of yours. Great questions. We got one from Chaz in Lakewood, Jason in Marblehead, Kurt from Port Clinton checks in, Jerry from Oak Harbor, Julie from Catawba, and Michelle from Avery, Ohio. All fielded some great questions. You're going to want to hear those coming up. Let's get right to it, guys. Here's the first one. Kurt from Port Clinton writes, how often do you recommend checking tire pressure? Just saw an ad on TV, how much it directly affects your fuel economy. Just curious, because I never check mine. Kurt from Port Clinton. Well, I'll tell you what, Kurt, you may want to start checking them if you never check yours, because it really does affect your fuel economy as much as 10, 15, 20%. If you've got a car like a Honda Civic that gets up to 46 miles per gallon, you could be only getting 30 because your tires are either overinflated or underinflated. Worse than that, you can get unusual tire wear, where the insides of your tire will wear faster than the center, or where if you're overinflated, the center of the tire will wear faster than the edges do. Needless to say, you're going to wear your tires out a lot faster than you would have otherwise. And just like fuel, tires are expensive. I mean, gas is $3.70, $3.80, $4 a gallon, depending on what part of the country you're in. Tires can cost you anywhere from $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $1,200, $1,500, depending on the kind of car you drive, just to replace a set of 4 tires. Not like it used to be where a good tire was $50 and a cheap tire was $25. Those days are long gone, guys. So tire pressure is just about all there is. And a $5 or $10 tire pressure monitoring device, digital one if possible, or a simple one, it just doesn't matter, applied to each tire once a week. If you're disciplined, I'm telling you what, you'll get way more mileage out of your tires. You'll get way more fuel economy out of your car. And that little gauge is about the size of this pencil. It will pay for itself many, many, many times over. Once a week is great. Every time or every other tank full, pop the little caps off your tires, put that gauge on there, and if you look inside the door jamb of your car, there's a little plate in there, most of them, where it'll show you exactly what the tire pressure should be on each tire. If it's not there, oftentimes you can actually read the tire, and the recommended pounds per square inch, or PSI, for your tire will be written right on the tire, or you can Google it online or give me a call at the office, 419-626-1061, and I'll be happy to discuss it with you personally. So check those tires at least twice a month, you guys, if not more if you can, because especially during the change of season when it's colder and warmer, that's when a lot of times the tire pressure will fluctuate more than not. All the newer cars have the TPMS warning lights, where if your pressure changes and gets more than 10% different than what the manufacturer recommends, boom, that light's going to come on and indicate that you need some more or less air in your tires. So that's going to help you as well. But check it off, and great question, Kurt. We got to go to commercial and pay a few bills, guys, but don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Right here, right now. Trade in and trade up at Victory Honda. Bring in your trade-in and we'll give you 125% of the Black Book value toward the purchase of any newer vehicle on our lot. Trade up. Visit VictorySandusky.com and click on the Black Book icon to value your trade-in. Print it out, bring it in, and we'll give you 125% of that value. Then trade up and actually lower your monthly payment. Hurry, Victory Honda's trade-in, trade-up sales event ends soon. Welcome to the world of yes. At Victory Honda of Sandusky, we love to say yes. Like yes to guaranteed credit approval, even if you've been turned down elsewhere. Yes to complimentary first oil changes. Yes to complimentary loaner cars. And yes to zero money down. At Victory Honda, there is one thing we say no to. No hassles. Then come in to Victory Honda, where we say yes.
Hi, Gene Capo here, BehindTheWheelRadio.com. We're back from commercial, living large and loving life here at Channel 7 Buckeye Cable. 7 days a week, you guys, 8 o'clock p.m. We're going to be here rocking out behind the wheel. I'm Gene Capo. I own and operate Victory Honda of Sandusky, Ohio, corner of Hayes and Perkins Avenue. We're open 6 days a week, 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock p.m. every single night. So every night after dinner, you can come by and see us, or check out our website, VictorySandusky.com. All the cars are on there, new cars, used cars, 31 actual photos of every car. The Carfaxes on the used cars are there too, you guys. All you got to do is click on the Carfax icon. You can print them out, check out the vehicle history on every single car we're selling. We're not hiding anything, folks. We absolutely fix them up beautiful, put the Carfaxes on there to show you where they came from and the history and the maintenance that's been done. It's great stuff. So start your car buying experience at our website, VictorySandusky.com. And we've got 12 knowledgeable salespeople that are going to be here to help you once you get to the dealership too. So give me a call at the office, 419-626-1061, and we'll get you hooked up with one of our fabulous salespeople. They know the product extremely well, so they can show you how best it's going to benefit you. Speaking of beneficial, these questions are pretty cool too. 419-975-9205 with your questions, you guys. Send one in because we're putting you in the drawing for the $100 gas card every single week. If we read one on the air and you go in the drawing, if your name gets picked, you're the lucky recipient of the $100 gas card. So great stuff so far. We're on the radio too, you guys. 102.7 WCPZ. 8 o'clock a.m. every Saturday morning. You might have heard us, or 7:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. And then we're on AM radio as well, 1450 WLEC, 9 o'clock a.m. Saturday and Sunday morning. And then if you're an internet radio fan, WPCR, PortClintonRadio.com, every Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Or if you go to their website, go to the on-demand tab. You can get the show anytime you need us. TV or radio, just doesn't matter. And here we're rocking it out at Buckeye Cable Channel 7, the Guide Channel. If you look below me here, all the stuff that's on TV is here, but nothing's as good as Behind the Wheel, if you ask me. Mainly because of you guys sending in all these great questions. Kurt just weighed in. By the way, Kurt, this is an air pressure monitoring gauge. This is one of the simple ones. Costs $3 or $4. Guys, this will pay for itself a million times over. Check your tire pressure and do it twice a month, because I'm telling you what, if you keep it where it's supposed to be, you'll get way better mileage, your car will handle way better, it'll ride better, and you'll get better life out of your tires as well. So Jerry from Oak Harbor weighs in. Does a 4-cylinder car that gets better mileage have the spunk that my 6-cylinder does, or is it a draggy start from the light? Jerry from Oak Harbor. That's a great question, Jerry, because these days, who wants a big gas guzzling 6 or 8-cylinder engine? Not that many people do. And a lot of the manufacturers make 4-cylinder engines, and they do get better mileage. But one of the biggest fears is, how long do they last? Are they awful as far as acceleration? Are they no fun to drive? I know when my dad was growing up, you wouldn't sell him a 4-cylinder anything. I grew up in Flint, Michigan, and up there it was mainly a GM market where the GM cars were there. And back then, 6-cylinder was the way to go. But with Honda, it's a whole different package. I mean, we didn't even start making 6-cylinder engines until 10 or 12 years ago. And the reason we didn't is because the 4-cylinder engines were so powerful and so efficient, we just didn't get a lot of calling for it. Nowadays, we have a 6 and a 4-cylinder that we make for the Accord vehicle mainly. The Civics all run 4-cylinders, CRVs and the like. But they both get almost the same fuel economy, within 2 miles per gallon of each. So if you want to get a 6-cylinder and have the more power, you can get a 271 horsepower V6 in an Accord that gets 36 miles per gallon on the highway. Pretty awesome. Or you can get a 4-cylinder engine. It's a 2.4 liter at 200 horsepower that gets 40 miles per gallon. I mean, the old adage where you have to have a awful engine to get good fuel economy that won't get out of its own way, those days are gone. They're just gone. And the reason being is that Honda uses what they call variable valve timing. And it sounds like a fancy thing, but it's really not. Timing is the essence of an engine. There's little valves in there that are going up and down, and 2 of the valves open and they let the fuel and exhaust in, and another 2 open and they let the exhaust out after it's burnt. It's pretty simple how an engine works. However, how long those valves open and how much fuel and air they let in is called valve duration, or how long they stay open. Most cars, when you set the timing, what you're really talking about doing is telling the engine how long you want the valves to stay open, how much fuel and air to let in, and how long you want it to stay open to let the exhaust out. And the longer it stays open, the more power you're going to get from that motor, but the less fuel economy. The shorter they stay open, the more efficient that car is going to be, but it's not going to be very fast. It's going to be, like Jerry's talking about, it's going to be draggy when you're starting out at the light. It's not going to get out of its own way. It's going to be awful. Honda's devised a way to change that timing based on what you're doing with the accelerator. So if you're taking off from a start, or you're getting on the expressway, or you need some spunk in that motor, it's going to open those valves up and keep them open. Just based on what you're doing with that accelerator. It knows what you're trying to do, and off it goes. It's going to give you all 200 horsepower. Yet when you're cruising on the turnpike at 70 miles an hour, it's only going to open those valves just a little bit in a very efficient manner so you can get 40 miles per gallon on a trip. It's 2 engines in one. It's the coolest thing ever, and it's not new, you guys. It's been around since the early 90s. Variable valve timing. It's not a new concept, at least not at Honda. You won't see it in every motor out there, but Honda's the best engine maker in the world, Jerry. And I'll tell you what, there's no better motor to invest in than the ones Honda makes. They've been at it a long time. They make super powerful, super efficient motors. They're all aluminum, so they're really lightweight, easy to control underneath the car. And the reason that's important is if you can hold that motor still, it's going to be real smooth as it takes off. If a motor's jumping around, it's going to make the rest of the car jump around too. There's a term out there called torque steer. And what it means is if you hit that accelerator in a front-wheel drive car, some of them want to veer this way or that way as they take off. Honda, you won't get any of that out of the Honda cars. 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder, it just doesn't matter. They're all efficient. They're all very safe. They all last forever. They're just great, absolutely great motors. So the answer, Jerry, is no. 4-cylinder or 6-cylinder, you can get plenty of spunk and plenty of fuel efficiency out of each. It's just a matter of your personal, desire as far as what sort of pickup you want. Do you want really good pickup or exceptional? Do you want really good mileage out of your 6-cylinder or exceptional mileage out of your 4-cylinder? Give me a call at the dealership, 419-626-1061. I'll be happy to go over the different models and what engines they carry, how much horsepower they have, and what sort of mileage they have if you need me to, Jerry. Great question. Thanks for sending it in. We've got to go to commercial yet again, you guys. Again, I'm Gene Capo. I own and operate Victory Honda of Sandusky, Ohio. You're watching BehindTheWheelRadio.com, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to the world of yes. At Victory Honda of Sandusky, we love to say yes. Like yes to guaranteed credit approval, even if you've been turned down elsewhere. Yes to complimentary first oil changes. Yes to complimentary loaner cars. And yes to zero money down. At Victory Honda, there is one thing we say no to. No hassles. Then come into Victory Honda, where we say yes.
Hi, Gene Capo here, BehindTheWheelRadio.com. We're back from commercial, living large and loving life here at Channel 7 Buckeye Cable, you guys. The Guide Channel. We're rocking out the TV show 7 days a week, 8 o'clock p.m. to 8:30. Don't miss us, and catch us on the radio too, 102.7 WCPZ every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., Sunday morning at 7:30, and then AM radio 1450 WLEC, Saturday and Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock a.m., and then 10:30 a.m. WPCR, PortClintonRadio.com, rocking it out over there too, or go to their website, click on the On-Demand tab, get us anytime you need us. Or, again, right here, Buckeye Cable Channel 7, the Guide Channel, 7 days a week, 8 o'clock p.m. We're doing it too. Send in a question, I dare you. 419-975-9205 with your questions. If we read them on the air, again, you're going in the drawing for the $100 gas card. And we've had some doozies so far. Kurt from Port Clinton checked in. Jerry from Oak Harbor. Julie from Catawba's got a great one too, you guys. She says, can you explain how the new cars are hooking up with cell phones? What benefits and features do I get? I'm just lost, so keep it simple. My son says I need a new car, so I'm up with the times. Julie from Catawba. I'll tell you what, that's a great question, Julie, but don't let your son tell you you're not with the times because, I don't know, technology's great, but there's lots of different ways to do it. And what I think you're talking about hooking up with a cell phone is called Bluetooth. Many of us have heard of it. As usual, there's a lot of different ways to get that done. Bluetooth's great stuff, too, because that means that you no longer have to hold that cell phone to your ear. There's a lot of places in the country already where talking on your cell phone while you're driving has become illegal. I got to believe eventually it's going to be everywhere. So Bluetooth, or the ability to talk on your phone hands-free, is probably going to be in every car before too long. And it's in most of the Hondas already. But there's a couple different ways you can do it, Julie. The inexpensive, easy way is to go to the website of the manufacturer that made your cell phone, Motorola or whoever it might be, or just pop into one of their stores and pick up the little handheld device that fits on your ear. You've probably seen people walking around with those goofy-looking, Star Trek-looking things on their ear. It's got a mic in it. It's got an earpiece in it. and it remotely connects with your cell phone so that when you ride around, you can have your hands at 9 and 3 or 10 and 2 or wherever your driver's ed instructor taught you to put them, instead of on that cell phone. And then you can talk and pay attention to what you're supposed to be doing, which is driving, and keep those hands on the steering wheel. The other way to go is built into the car, Julie. Many of the Hondas, I think the Civic EX model with the moonroof and nicer, all have its standard equipment. And it's built into the speakers of your stereo system so that you can hear a call that's incoming. There's a little mic built into the ceiling up in the upper console right above the rearview mirror there, so that when a call comes in, there's a digital readout on your dash, just like your caller ID at home that tells you what number's calling you. There's 2 buttons on your steering wheel. So it's you don't have to take your hands off the wheel. You push one to answer the call and the other to hang up. So when a call comes in, it'll automatically mute your radio, show you what the number is that's calling you. It'll show you, you'll be able to answer the call or not. You can actually push the off button and send it to voicemail just like you can on your cell phone. The only difference between the two really is that there's conveniences on both sides, but the main difference is if you get the one that's built into your car, it comes through the speakers of your stereo system. So who's ever in the car with you can hear your phone call. So you may want to warn the folks that are calling you that there's other people in the car. Aside from that, if you get the earpiece, obviously it's just you and that person. So there's advantages either side. There's no reason why you can't have both. Most of the cell phones these days are very easily married to the cars. Some of them will turn it on and off automatically as you approach the vehicle. You get close enough, your cell phone will automatically go into Bluetooth mode if you set it up that way. Some of them you can make it so that you've got to push a button and ask it to go to Bluetooth every time. Maybe if you've got the earpiece, you don't need it to. In case you've got people in the car, you might want to have both. Again, there's lots of different ways to get that job done, Julie, but I'll tell you what, it's a great benefit. You don't have to get a new car to get it, but if you do get a new car, that's one of the things that's available now is that Bluetooth feature, and it's wonderful, among many others. I mean, the fuel economy on these new cars is amazing, especially the Hondas. The amount of power, 46 miles per gallon out of a Civic with 140 horsepower, that's unheard of. That's crazy fast and powerful for an engine that's so efficient. The safety features are amazing. 3rd generation airbags. I mean, they deploy based on how hard you hit something and at what angle. They measure the seat angle so they know how much the person weighs that's sitting there and how close to the steering wheel that they are before they deploy the airbag. The old airbags, when we first put them in the cars, they literally deployed at 1 speed no matter who was sitting there, and I think they caused as many injuries as they prevented, quite honestly. Maybe some of them a little less severe, but the folks weren't coming away unscathed, that's for sure. These new airbags are much better, they're much smarter, they're much more sophisticated and work a lot better than what the airbags in the past do. Plus, not only do we have them in the front in the steering wheel and for the passenger, they're also in the sides to protect the windows and in the sides to protect the doors. So you've got an airbag here and one out in front of you. So the cars, the way they're constructed, the Hondas now have what's called an active control system, ACE technology, the way the front end is designed. It's designed in a front end collision to accommodate bumpers of differing heights. So if you're hitting a truck or a car or an SUV, it's designed to accommodate that, and it'll absorb 100 times more impact than any car we've ever built before. If you run into a corner of the building, that car's going to take the shape of that building. The reason it'll do that is to absorb all the impact from that crash and keep it away from the passenger compartment where you're sitting, invariably keeping you much, much safer. It's like having a big spring on the end of your car. If you run into something, that spring will absorb the impact instead of you rolling forward and sending all that energy into the cabin. So in some ways, your son is right, Julie. There's tons of great features out there, not just Bluetooth to keep you safe. Way more efficient cars, way more powerful, endless amounts of things. Give me a call at the office, 419-626-1061, or go to the Honda Cars website, the Victory Sandusky website if you want to. Check out the new cars, all the safety features, all the colors, all the flavors. stop by the dealership and ask for me. I'll be happy to sit down with you, go over the different models that we sell, and show you the best way that they're going to benefit you. Great question, Julie. You're going in the drawing for the $100 gas card, and we're going to commercial, you guys. So you're watching BehindTheWheelRadio.com. I'm Gene Capo. I own and operate Victory Honda of Sandusky. Do not touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Right here, right now. Trade in and trade up at Victory Honda. Bring in your trade-in and we'll give you 125% of the Black Book value toward the purchase of any newer vehicle on our lot. Trade up. Visit VictorySandusky.com and click on the Black Book icon to value your trade-in. Print it out, bring it in, and we'll give you 125% of that value. Then trade up and actually lower your monthly payment. Hurry, Victory Honda's trade-in, trade-up sales event ends soon.
Hi, Gene Capo here, BehindTheWheelRadio.com. We're back from commercial, living large and loving life here at Buckeye Cable Channel 7, the Guide Channel, rocking it out here, you guys, 7 days a week, 8 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. every single night, having a ball with your questions. 419-975-9205 with your questions. Call them in, you guys, because we're putting you in the drawing for a $100 gas card. Somebody wins one every week. It might as well be you, and gas is expensive as all get out. Who knows why? I don't know who's responsible. Maybe it's the commodities traders. Maybe it's the guys overseas that are mining all the oil. I don't know. I think it's that girl with the suction cup that puts all the numbers up on the sign. I think she's secretly behind gas prices. I don't know. But somebody's to blame, and we're going to find out who eventually. I don't know when, but there it is. Great questions this week. Great stuff, you guys. Kurt from Port Clinton weighed in. He says, how often should I check my tire pressure? Kurt, get one of these bad boys right here. It's about $5. Okay, twice a month, check your tire pressure. All right, make sure that it's up to snuff, 32, 35 pounds, whatever that little label inside the door jamb says to keep it at, keep it right there. Add some air, subtract some air. Remember, if you go from real cold to real hot like we do in Ohio, one day it's 40, next day it's 80. You never know what it's going to be these days. We had an 85-degree day in March, for God's sakes. I'm telling you what. But check that tire pressure, because if you go from cold to hot, your pressure can go up. And all of a sudden, you got too much air in your tires. I know it's hard to believe, but it can happen. This little device here will allow you to let air out of the tires or measure exactly how much is in it. There's a little bracket right here. It goes up to, let's see, 90 pounds, 100 pounds. You probably don't want that much in your tires, but if you look on that door jamb, check it out online. Give me a call at the office, 419-626-1061. I'll be happy to show you and tell you exactly where to keep those tires. Jerry from Oak Harbor, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, it just doesn't matter, dude. You can get great mileage and power out of either one if you stick with Honda. 200 horsepower, 4-cylinder in the Accord, 140 in the Civic, 185 in the CR-V. Let's see, a V6 engine with 271 horsepower in the Accord, 250 horsepower in the Pilot. All but the Pilot, the Odyssey's even got a 250 horsepower V6. And all of those, save the Pilot, get over 30 miles per gallon. Some get over 40. So I'm telling you what, if fuel economy is your thing, yet you don't want to sacrifice power, Honda's the place for you. Come and check them out at the corner of Hayes and Perkins Avenue, Victory Honda of Sandusky. Julie from Catawba, there's a lot of stuff just besides Bluetooth that you can update when you update your car. In a way, your son is right. A new car would bring you up to the times, not just with Bluetooth, but with a lot of different things. Efficiency as far as fuel economy, safety as far as crash test abilities, drivability. The new cars handle so well. They ride smooth, they're quiet, they're way more efficient. Oftentimes, if you're driving the wrong thing these days, a new car will pay for itself. I mean, if you're paying, let's say you're driving an SUV like a Ford Explorer or a Chevy Blazer, getting 15 miles per gallon, and you go to a Civic that gets 40, you literally can pay for it in the gas that you save. So instead of paying that extra $300 a month and literally burning it up into thin air, you can take that money and pay down a car that you own. I mean, how cool is that? Talk about a shift in money. That's $300 that you were burning to $300 that you're saving. That's a $600 swing by my math, guys. Don't ignore it. It's the real deal. So thanks so much for joining us. It's been a great show. Send in your questions, 419-975-9205. Remember, every time we read one on the air, somebody's going to get a $100 gas card because you're all going in the drawing. Guys, we love you. Happy motoring. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week.
Expert automotive advice? Email your car question to Gene@BehindTheWheelRadio.com. Tune in next Saturday for Behind the Wheel Radio, featuring Gene Capo of Victory Honda of Sandusky.